Hi everyone, and welcome to our countdown project for Cricut Christmas 2024. We are going to be creating an elf door. As you can see in the picture here right on the slide, we have our elf door right here. And of course we have a little elf that we sat on here. Now I just want to talk about the supplies today because there are not a lot of supplies with this one, but there are some things that you can save on or work with. So let's go over the list right here. So we have 2 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. Now, we have suggested gray and brown. When I did my demo, you'll see I picked 2 different shades of brownish creamy color. So it's up to you what you want to have for those 2 colors. One is for a bottom piece that helps the door stand up. So the standing up piece will require one color and the base another, a darker base usually with a lighter one that sits inside. So that's the 12 by 12 cardstock. So make sure you have a couple of sheets of those set aside. Now, the other part is we're going to be doing some print then cut. And with that print then cut, of course, we have the little sign that goes above the door that says Naughty and Nice Office. And that is going to be a print then cut. And you can attach or you can flatten the black piece that goes in behind. And that would require 1 sheet of the white. If you decide to just do print then cut on the label or the office tag right there, that's one thing. And then you can cut out the black background on a separate sheet of paper. And of course, those are about 3¼ by 3 inches. So you just need a scrap of paper for that black background, or you can just print the whole thing. Now for the scraps of cardstock, for the red part of the door, you're going to need a 4x6 piece of red cardstock. So you don't need a huge sheet of paper. Now, if you want white trim or gray trim, I did gray trim on mine, as you can see by the picture here. So I just simply used a 6x6 piece of cardstock when I went in there. And when I went to the mats, I arranged things so that I could have them all on one 6x6 piece. If you don't want to arrange things and want them on separate mats, that's fine. Using a 8.5 by 11 and the color of your choice. I used a gray, but you could use a white for the trim. It is entirely up to you. And then, of course, you'll see the gold mailbox in the middle. That is a smaller piece, so you just need something approximately 3 inches wide by 1 inch high to cut that piece out. And then, of course, the other color in behind, which is a darker orangey color, matches the same as the doorknob. Once again, that's a 3 inch by 1 inch piece that you need to cut. So the scraps of paper, so we're not using a lot of extra stuff when it comes to. So that's for the door handle, and the mailbox trim, of course, is that 3x1. And I've got it all stated here right in front of you so that you have it. Then you're going to need some cotton balls. Now, the cotton balls are the snow at the bottom and the snow at the top, as you can see. And then, of course, glue and scissors. And we went ahead and went to the dollar store and find a nice small elf to sit beside it. So it's like the elf on a shelf. If you already have one, no need. But you need a nice small one that's going to sit beside it here and really make this project cute.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up Design Space and we're going to upload the template Elf Box. So you should have gotten that with your downloads. And then we're going to go to Make It. And as you see, it comes in like this. And as all of our things, you have to change those score lines to score lines, as shown in the video here. So I'm just going to make sure that everything is score line here, and I'm going to make sure that everything is well foldable. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab another score line here. We're going to edit this and make it a basic cut. Just going to go black. And we got to put these 90 degrees and put the cut lines on this first base here. There's no cut lines. So we need to put the cut lines into it. So we're going to do this one here. All right, once that's put in place, we're going to just make sure that it's the right height. And then we are going to just adjust it a little bit more to 0.9. I think that looks good. And then we are going to go into our actions menu, and then we're going to duplicate this, and we're going to place it on the opposite side, and then duplicate it again, and do it, oops, undo that. Take that and put it on the top, and then duplicate it again, and put it on the opposite side. So now that our cut lines are now done, we're going to have to add this into our attachment here. Just going to set one aside. We're going to unattach this box bottom. I'm also going to ungroup it. Then I'm going to select all our lines, and I'm going to attach. It's giving me a readout that image is too long, and what I did there was an extra line. So I have to unattach that. I'm going to hide that line. And then I'm going to attach that again. I'm just using that cut line just to measure. We're going to grab ourselves a half shape from the free menu, and we're going to start building our door here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the little window arch above. I'm going to unlock that and make it a little bit smaller. We're going to go in there and grab a square shape, and we're just going to make ourselves our door. Here we go. So I'm just visually seeing where the door will be placed. And this is how I build up the door. I like the way that looks. So I'm going to duplicate this shape here. I'm going to make it smaller. And I'm just going to put it up into my little window here. And then I'm going to play with dimensions by unlocking and dragging it. And this is how I play a little bit. If Design Space lets me. So I'm just going by eyeball what a nice cutout would look like. I'm going to drag that in a little bit. And I think that looks pretty good. I might drag it a little bit more. Oh, it's too much. I'm going to undo that. Going into the layers panel, I'm going to select both the half circles. And then I'm going to go into I'm going to slice. And then I'm going to move our slice results out of the way. Or I'm going to delete one of them. Just going to leave the other slice result there because we need to build our lattice sections. So I'm just going to find the middle and sort of move it over a little bit. I'm going to duplicate the square, find the middle, move it over a little bit. I'm going to go into the layers. I'm going to select both the squares. I'm going to go to combined and weld. Done. Go back into layers. Click our slice result there, and then I'm going to hit slice again. And then I'm going to get rid of the giant squares. And one of our slice results. Now I'm going to take our square shape again. And I'm going to just sort of visualize where I want the next one to be. And then I'm going to keep adding squares, melding them, and building the window like this. All right, now that I have that slice results done, get rid of that. And now I can weld the sliced results to our arch and make a complete shape. Now you see it's not attached at the bottom there, so I'm going to have to undo that. And I'm just going to have to make that one slice result a little bit bigger so it's properly touching. And Design Space isn't letting me touch anything, so I'm going into the Edit menu and I'm just going to play with the height here. I'm going to make the height 1. And then I'm going to see if it'll attach now. I'm going to combine and weld. Almost, and I'm going to press undo, and I'm going to redo that again until it's properly welded together. All right, now that that is fixed, we're going to go into the edit menu, and I'm going to go into basic cut, and I'm just going to change the color just so I can visually see these a little bit better while I'm building up our elf door. So now we're going to work on the actual door. And I'm just going to pull this down so it's all the way down. Then I'm going to change that color to gray as well, just so it's brighter and I'm not working black on black. So I'm going to duplicate this, and then I'm going to just make it a little less wider, a little less taller. And I'm going to place this inside our door. It's not letting me. Here we go. Just going to make this a little bit smaller. And just place that in the center. Line it up a little bit. Go into the edit menu. Change the height to 5.25. It's a little bit too big. I'm going to take both the squares, go into actions, and I'm going to slice. I'm going to go into edit. I'm going to change the color to red. And there we have a nice red door with a white trim around it. It's very pretty. I like it. Next, we're going to go into our shapes menu. We're going to use this upside down tab, circly tab thing. We're going to rotate it. We're going to make it a little bit smaller, bring it up to the top here. And we're going to just make this wide. And we're going to build our door's window here like this. I'm going to make it a little bit wider. Then we're going to duplicate this. And then we're going to lock it. And we're going to make it smaller. And then we're going to fit one into the other. Like that. Select both those pieces. Go to actions and slice. And then we're just going to get rid of one of our black slices. I'm going to change the color of our frame here to gray. and delete one of the extra black slices. Now we're going to grab another shape. We're going to grab a square again, and then we're just going to make this smaller than a 2x2 if Design Space will let me. I'm going to go into the edit menu and unlock it. And we're going to make this little thin rectangle piece. And we're going to drag that up under the window. We're going into our basic cut operation. We're going to change the color to like a deep orange. This is going to be our mailbox slot. And I'm just zooming in here so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to duplicate it, lock it, and then I'm going to make it smaller. That lets me grab it. There we go. And then we're just going to put this in the middle. We're going to unlock it so we can play with the width. Just like that. Then we're going to go into our basic cut operations and change that color to a lighter orange and apply. And we have a bit of a door, so our mailbox. So that's good. And now we have to figure out what we need next. So I think we need a bit of a doorknob. So we're going to grab a circle and we are going to make it small. I'm going to go into the edit menu and lock it. And I'm going to make it about 0.25. I'm going to drag it to where a doorknob should be. And I think that's a bit small, so we're going to change it to 0.5. And we're just going to place that where a doorknob should go. Going into the edit menu, and then I'm going to change this to a 0.35. And I think that looks better. I'm going to place that where it needs to go. I'm going to go into the edit menu to basic cut, and I'm going to change the color to the orange color. And I think that looks pretty good. Okay, now we're going to go and we're going to upload our Naughty and Nice list office image. We're going to remove the background. We're going to apply that. We're going to bring it in as a flat graphic. Next, on the iPad, it's required that you name it. So I'm just going to name it Sign, and I'm going to upload that. And then it's pretty big. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it smaller and just bring it to the top of our window here. We're going to lock it and we're just going to make it a little bit smaller if it lets me. And this is going to go on the top of our door. So we just got to find a nice place that we're going to put it. I think I like it right about there. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to move this down so it goes down to the door. There, I like that better. Then I'm going to just visually, what I'm doing here is I'm building the door on the piece so I can visually see it, what it's going to look like after I cut out all the pieces. I'm not going to need that cut line anymore, so I'm just going to delete that. And I think I might want to put a bit of an offset on this print and cut. So I'm going to select it. And I think I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. It's not letting me grab it. There we go. iPad doesn't really like my mouse. I think I like the way that looks there. Right, so I'm going to select the print and cut here. I'm going to hit the offset, and then I'm going to drag this offset I'm going to set it to let's see here, 0.15. No, 10. Like that. And then I'm going to go into my layers. It's at the bottom there. I'm going to go into arrange in the edit menu and bring it to the front. And send it backwards once. And I like that. I like the way that looks. And I'm just going to group that together. And then I think that's about it. So now we're going to hit make it. And then tomorrow we're going to go through on putting it all together. So this is day 1 of our countdown. And this is the supplies and everything in our list for our elf door. And we'll see you tomorrow.